It's Cat, straight out of New Jersey. I love that the next episode is going to be on animals. That's sick. And I love that the last episode you brought up that it was the year of the snake. I saw this little hog-nosed snake that someone in Queens was trying to sell. I got it in my head that I wanted to start bringing some more of my, I guess, like, younger generation of family members in, since some of my, like, cousins and uncles and stuff have, like, kids that are in, like early-ish grade school / summer camp age. I wanted to do that whole clown camp thing in the future where I just, like, bring some of them to my place in my family, give their folks a break, and give them some time to figure themselves out or whatever. I started getting into my head. It would be a really cool idea if while I have kids here, I am able to teach them to engage with creatures they don't automatically have, like, a tap into. Like, you can't read its mind, can't really share certain languages with it. So what do you do in these scenarios? You have to, like, obviously stop, take pause, assess the environment, assess the situation. Who in this situation might be hungry? Who in this situation might feel endangered? What would I do to make sure this particular creature wouldn't feel danger? What can I take into note about its environment and what I know about it? What can I learn more about it? What can I pay attention to about it to get to know this safe and, like, reciprocal, respectful language? And I think that's a problem on a large scale that society fucking has with each other.
Host to this show, you know he's gone. He's your number one beastmaster, the king of the fauna. Ladies and gentlemen and everybody, this is Pepito. Pepito.
Yeah. Hello.
Great. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Let's start this right. Let's get the question right off the bat. Pepito, the world is wondering, we are all with bated breath. How in the hell are you?
So good.
Wonderful. I love to hear it. Okay, now, all right, let's get right into it. This is, uh, believe it or not, Pepito, this is a packed show and we have a lot to get to tonight. Do you believe that?
Yes. I believe you've packed it.
This is the hoodie episode, as Soy Therese in the chat says, and we both have our tigers on. Let's see yours.
Yeah.
Ooh la la! Look at that tiger, ferocious. That ferocious man both love. Let's listen to our classic theme song, the theme song of 2025. Let me unmute that and let's go. Oh wait, hang on. I have to introduce the show. I introduced you and I got so carried away with that. Uh Cinderoni says she didn't get the memo. She'll step up. She'll step out to get her hoodie. She needs
Okay.
she needs Cinderoni needs a tiger hoodie as well.
Yeah.
And Soy Teresa says she has her Kirkland hoodie. So but yes, let's introduce the show. Animals to you, but wait, animals to you, but anabiens to me. Gather the critters and get your kicks. It's episode 56. This. Okay, that's not what I had. See, I forget what my buttons are. Nope, I don't want that one. There was one I was supposed to be hitting while the theme song played. I know I set it up, but where did I put it? Pepito, do you know where I put the things?
Yeah, you put that things over there with the other things, right?
I wish. Let's see. Aw, I know it's okay. This is frustrating. It's not that one? Okay. Well, I lost it. It was very cool. Uh, yeah. Well, fuck it. I fucked up. No time to mess with that. Soy Trees in the chat says Conda said he was ready. He ain't ready. And this is true. Pepito, do you agree with that? Oh wait.
Come on, dude.
No, because I was with you before the show started, and you seemed like you were ready.
I think this blank button might be the button I was trying to play while the theme song played. Yes, this is it. Look at that. Number 2, Lifehouse Carlsbad. What do you think of that? You don't care? All right.
Mate,
Well,
I don't know what it was. I just barely saw it. And did I have to listen?
it's
Was there
fine.
audio to that?
It was just Newsweek saying ranking the best addiction treatment centers in the U.S. and Carlsbad's Lifehouse got number 2. Hey, shout out to them.
Oh, sweet.
Pepito, you know what we need for this show? We have a huge staff. Do you agree?
Yes,
Okay.
we do.
I am glad you agree. I agree. I think what we need is a food expert. Don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We need a food expert.
You know
Who's out there wanting to be a food expert?
Because last week
I don't.
last week in the chat Brother Binks said that if we win an award for the best planning on a streaming show, he would eat his hat. So I think we
Oh
really need
yeah.
a food expert to cook up a delicious hat for Brother Binks to eat because we're getting that best planning award. It's
Yes.
gonna happen.
It's
Yes.
tough.
Okay. And here's a shout out to our most recent Twitch follower. We are now followed by Christmas Beef. So thank you, Christmas Beef. We really uh, are happy for that.
Chris's beef.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, Cinderoni says that's crazy about the recovery center. Very cool. And Papito, I was showing you before we started. We now have some new sound effects to play on the show. So here's a little sample of the types of sounds we are now able to play.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, you can't hear them. You've heard them. And yes, credit to producer Nico for saying that we need a bonk sound effect, and then that threw me into a deep dive of Looney Tunes sound effects. So now we have uh, multiple Looney Tunes sound effects that I can play. Papito, it's time to. Well, we really need to get to the meat of the matter, the actual show, but I do want to take pause to uh, discuss the Boozoo. Do you have any inductions that you would like to make into the Boozoo for Bozos this week?
Oh no.
Okay, perfect. I think my my induction into this week's Boozoo is, unfortunately, I hate to do it to him, Carlsbad, California. You're a bunch of bozos. Have you been there?
Hmm. I don't think so.
I think I have to have been there. You know, it's right there by San Diego. I've spent time in San Diego. I don't know why, but I went to Blue Sky, the preferred social media that I enjoy these days, and I decided to search for Carlsbad, mentions of Carlsbad, and I saw a bunch that were mentioning Carlsbad, California, and I was just like, man, what is this? Carlsbad, California cannot hold a candle to the Carlsbad, New Mexico, the real Carlsbad. Soy Teresa in the chat says she's been there and it has a nice beach. I'll have to trust her on that because I don't remember it at all. But I was looking into Carlsbad, California. I was like, what is it about this place? You know what makes it? So I went to the most reliable source. I went to Wikipedia to learn more about Carlsbad, California. And they claim that they're named after the Carlsbad in the Czech Republic, the Carlsbad with a K. But Carlsbad, California was incorporated 53 years after Carlsbad, New Mexico. So what? They're saying they never heard of they're inspired by the Czech Republic's Carlsbad? No, no. They're biting. They're ripping off Carlsbad. We were here with a C in the name, you know, to spell the name 53 years before them. So, unfortunately, hate to do it to them, but Carlsbad, California, welcome to the Boozoo, you bozos.
Welcome to the Boozoo, you bozo.
Well, there you
Aboo.
This Cinderoni is also in the chat saying Carlsbad, California is a nice beach. And I don't know, that's disrespectful. One
The
thing
beach. The beach at the Riverwalk. That's
Yeah,
that's
what
the
about
Carlsbad I know.
the real beach. That was a good throw. I think that's
by the George Washington.
yes, the George Washington paddle boat. That I mean, does Carlsbad, California's beach have the George Washington paddle boat? I
Or
doubt.
pre-
I'd
or-
be. I would be shocked.
or President's Park.
Yeah. Uh, one other thing. Okay, I think we're ready to start the show, but one other thing I did want to get to, current events, news of the week, Facebook announcing they're getting rid of fact checking and loosening up rules against hate speech. Have you heard about this?
No, I have not.
Yeah, it's lame. Fuck them. Who gives a shit anyway? But it did make me think. I wonder if Twitch is still not allowing us to say the word hillbilly in the chat. So if somebody in the chat would try to say hillbilly, that would be thrilling.
Oops.
Okay. Automod. Okay. We got two. Yeah, it was blocked twice. Soy Teresa and Cinderoni. I allowed it. Uh, okay. So, yeah, we're still protecting hillbillies from being discriminated against. It's whatever. But let's you know what time it is.
Please start the show.
Time. It's
It's
time.
to start the show. Here we go,
Show.
Pepito.
Oh,
Are you ready to
yes.
read? Let's start things off right here.
George W. Rausch, owner
Yeah,
of a
sorry about
local
that. Rouch?
Rausch,
It's
Rausch, Rausch.
Cinderoni said in the chat says it let me say bitch, but not hillbilly. Jeez Louise. I mean, what about are we not protecting the bitches anymore? It's wild. Okay, here we
It's
go.
hard out there for female dogs. George W. Rausch, owner of a local pet shop, has realized half of a lifelong ambition, at least in spirit, if not in quantity, by becoming the owner of an African lion.
Wow. Okay, so uh and let's see it. Let's see the lion. There it is. Isn't that cute?
Wow, he's cub.
She. I think it's a lioness.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Uh,
It
Wait, hang on. We have an auto mod here. It
Auto
says Soy Teresa got censored for saying bitch ass hillbilly,
dang.
and I think it was only the word hillbilly that she had a problem with. But Cinderoni says it's cute, but it's also an apex predator, and yeah, she is.
A lover of animals all his life, Rausch became acquainted with numerous circus men down through the years.
Okay, I've been an animal head all my life. I don't know how old Rausch, whatever was, but despite a lifelong love and appreciation of animals, I don't think I know any circus men. Do you?
No. No.
Okay, well,
I wish. I would love to know some circus men.
hell yeah. Maybe, hey, I'm praying for you. 2025 is a new year, new Pepito.
Yes. Circus Pepito.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess our circus men, I don't know at what level of animal appreciation you have to get to start to meet circus men. I don't think I've met a circus man in my entire life. I've been to the circus. Have you?
Yes. Yes. Oh, I should have brought the pictures out.
Well, you didn't know we were going to talk about the circus.
He told a friend with Ringling Brothers Circus once, or he wanted a cub lion After building a cage, the friend showed up with a pair several months old. Roosh said they were too old and too mean by that time.
Soy Teresa in the chat says
Soy
that
Teresa.
she knows too many, and I'm assuming that means too many circus mans. Um,
Cloons.
Clunes. I remember. I don't. I haven't been to the circus since I was a child. I passed the circus phase of my life and put away childish things. But what I remember about the circus is the motorcycle sphere of death. Did you ever see that?
Ooh, yeah.
Where they're going,
That- Pretty cool stuff.
golly, that rules. I still want to do that. I wonder if they'll let me.
I would
Maybe
mess
when
that
my
up.
eyes get better.
Yeah, just let a blind man do it already.
Oh, hang
No,
on. I forgot. I forgot. I Okay, yeah, I did have a note here. I just didn't read it. I was gonna say at this point I was gonna make an explanation before getting to this next one. So Roosh, whatever the man's name is, he did end up selling the lioness. He took care of it for about 2 years before he sold it to a zoo. And let's see how that went.
wow. No danger of rabies from lion's bite. George Roosh Sr., former owner of the African lion cub, which clawed an Artesia girl at the Cherokee Zoo late Sunday afternoon, said today there is little danger.
Wow. So hey, good news. If you get bit by a lion, you're probably not going to get rabies from it. So you can rest easy. Soy Teresa in the chat says people in Austin have a motorcycle rally every year, and they do the Sphere of Death uh, motorcycle cage.
Nice.
Man, if I ever visit Austin, I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, is the lioness bit a child, and but Rouge told them, "Hey, probably didn't get rabies, so that's nice."
Before he sold the lion to the zoo, it clawed and bit him a number of times while playing, and he never suffered any ill effects, Roosh said. He suggested the lion attacked 9-year-old Verna Lewis in play, rather than from viciousness, as the cub plays rough.
Yeah, so I know a creature that plays rough like that. Hang on, I gotta figure out the mirror.
Cobra.
I'm going the wrong way. Where is he? There he is. Hang on, Cobra. He's not looking, but he bites me. I Soy Teresa or producer Nico. Either one of them can attest to the viciousness of Cobra. And Cinderoni says Cobra is relaxing so hard. Uh, and Soy Trees also says lions can bite the children a little bit as a treat. So that's the lioness. I think that's the end of it here. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. You ready?
Yes. Here of late,
This is
Car-
1951.
yes.
Okay.
Here of late, carlsbadians have been gripping about the local mall service. Others don't like the wild dog packs running loose in the streets, and there's even a gentleman who's come right out and boldly asserted that the city is not only corrupt and dirty, but also that it stinks. It stinks.
Okay. That gets under my skin. It does not stink, and I don't see how you could say that with Carlsbad being so close to Artesia. Artesia is one of the smelliest towns in the world. Do you agree, Pepito?
Yes, it's one of the stinkiest.
Soy Teresa also says Roswell stinks.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
and yeah, that article was harsh, and I do agree. And here's a little comic that was doodled right beside that article.
Does it smell real bad to you? Carlsbad city limits.
Yeah. Isn't that messed up?
What? Poor-
You don't think so?
yes, it is very messed up.
That's yeah, Soy Teresa says rude. And Sandroni says, yeah, everywhere except Carlsbad stinks. And very true. And that brings me to the next thing I wanted to bring up. I think it's messed up that people are disparaging Carlsbad. I don't know who this man is. He's not a gentleman to me who would say such an awful thing. And also, I don't remember. Maybe the 50s were different. Maybe they probably were a little bit different, but I don't recall dog packs running around loose throughout Carlsbad. Do you?
No. That's
What?
this guy recently visiting Belize. That's all he would say when he was walking in Belize. There's a bunch of stray dogs. I've never seen a town with so many stray dogs walking around. It's crazy.
About the wild dog packs in Russia. I think Moscow,
Ooh.
and they. I just remember reading about these dog packs, and they learned how to
Use the
ride
subways. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, they would recognize the different sounds at different places, and they knew where to get on and where to get off, and stuff like that. And commuting, very smart, very smart. But I'm not over somebody saying that Carlsbad stinks, and that really led me down a path of looking at people talking shit about Carlsbad, and I don't like it. Have you ever seen the show City Confidential?
No. Hollywood does a hit job on Carlsbad. Ooh.
Yeah. Let's dive deep. Let's talk about City Confidential talking shit about Carlsbad. Okay.
The citizens of Carlsbad turned on the A&E network last week to watch City Confidential do a piece on the Johnny Volpato murder case.
And I'm not extremely familiar with the Johnny Volpato murder case, but I remembered that name, Johnny Volpato. And luckily I was able to access the Caveman News drive with all of our things that we have brought up. And doing a search, I found out we did talk about Johnny Volpato very briefly in our rodeo episode, one of the lost episodes. And it was just because that there was an article about it on the, this day in history. It wasn't related to the rodeo. It was just like, oh, this, you know, was in the paper this day 20 years ago or whatever. So I remember we have brought up Johnny Volpato, and it did sound suspicious to me. His wife was shot with his gun, and he went to prison, but he was only there for like 3 years, and then they let him out. He always said that somebody stole his gun and shot his wife with it, which, hey, I'm not going to judge, but I think that maybe he was in the wrong and maybe a murderer, but who knows? Let's see what City Confidential had to say though.
Then the citizens of Carlsbad turned their televisions off and swore to beat to a pulp the next Hollywood producer they lay eyes on.
Damn.
Hi, I'm just new in town. I'm a producer.
I knew it. How?
You're next. Ugh.
He is next. Or she.
Or she's next. On Monday at 7 p.m., A&E finally aired its long-anticipated production on a murder trial that took place 20 years ago. Reactions from the local front were less than positive as a whole. The show was less than flattering.
Wow.
How dare they?
Exactly. Well, let's see what they said.
Yes. One local figure who was quoted in the show called it the biggest piece of something currently floating down the Pecos River in large quantities I've ever seen.
Now, I don't know what that means. Do you think that at the time of this article, there was a lot of shit floating down the Pecos? Is that what this person is saying?
Yeah, I guess.
I never heard of
I,
that.
I don't remember
I
the
don't know if there
Pecos.
needs to be a Caveman News investigation into feces floating down the Pecos,
I
but
really hated this place.
yeah, and Soy Teresa says, "Is that why it stank?" And could be. Yeah, we got that one. All right. Okay, here we go.
The first 25 minutes or so of the program are devoted mostly toward poking fun at Carlsbad. It's called setting the scene, I believe. According to the show, Carlsbad is basically a bunch of isolated hicks who spend all their time eating and floating around on the Pecos River. Whoa.
That ain't what it's really like. I
River life.
I
No, I
don't
don't.
think I don't think I don't think of Carlsbad as a place where people float down the river. I mean, we have the river and we have the
Yeah,
cool beach, but I
yeah, I
don't
never
know.
did that.
Maybe we'll see. I was both alive and cognizant in the early 2000s, late 90s when this article came out. So I'm gonna have to disagree. I don't think we're a river people.
Yeah. Um,
Uh, as Soy Teresa says, you can't say that word. What did I say?
I don't know. Maybe because I read out Hicks out
Oh,
loud.
yeah, that's right. We can't say Hicks or hillbillies. They're still a protected class.
Hmm. Carlsbad has its share of cappuccino machines, PhDs, and wine drinkers. More, I should think, than most Western and Southern towns of similar size.
Right?
We have cappuccino and doctors
Yeah, very smart people. We're not
and
artesian.
wine.
Jeez, golly.
We have winos. But it is a question of degree. It seems the producers of the show just made up their minds on what image they wanted to give Carlsbad and slashed and rearranged the facts to suit their needs.
It says sweet their
I,
needs.
I know.
Golly. I,
There's
I
another typo earlier.
I'm telling you, I love when I see dumb typos in the newspaper because I'm like, see, even
It
they
makes
mess up.
makes me question, like, if I am spelling it wrong in my head or
No,
something.
don't ever, don't. It's them. They're the dumb ones.
It's
This is
not
just
me. It's
proof
them.
that we are above the crowd in our ability to not make mistakes.
Or the new school journalists. Obvious examples. Oh, the most obvious example, a reference to the Firehouse Saloon instead of its actual name, Firehouse Gourmet Grill and Club. I guess that pesky word gourmet just doesn't quite evoke the desired Budweiser town image.
Ow!
Ooh.
Although I'm gonna say, I think it'd be cool if it was called the saloon. I don't.
Hmm.
I don't look down on saloons. Do you?
No, sure. No.
Okay.
Is it if there's food in there? Yeah, hell yeah, cool.
I don't know. I think saloon is a cool word. I think it's heritage, not hate.
Gourmet. And at what time of day was the film crew in town? We're shown an empty stretch of Main Street and told Carlsbad's roads are as eerily silent as a 1950s horror flick. I, who cross that stretch twice a day, beg to disagree. To put it bluntly, if our streets are so barren, why are we getting into so many accidents?
Yeah. Do you ever think of that? We
Why
need
do we wreck our
kids, and
cars?
we're not uh desolate and unpopulated. We get in car wrecks all the time, and we have PhDs that drink wine and cappuccinos. So I don't know. The author of this column is really giving it to A&E. I
Yeah,
need to watch this.
City Confidential.
Yeah, I think it's streaming. I looked it up and I was like, oh, City Confidential is on one of the streaming services. And I thought, you know what? I really need to find their episode on Carlsbad to see if it's as bad as they say here.
According to the show, Carlsbad stayed a tourist town for years until the government started dumping nuclear waste in the caverns. Hey, that's good nuclear waste.
I don't think they did that, but if that's what A&E is saying, if they're saying that if Whip is in the Carlsbad Caverns, that's ridiculous.
Talk. How about halfway through the opus, after listening to a brief piece hinting that Carlsbad has a history of incest, we finally get to the murder case.
What the hell? Why would they A, why would they think that? And B, why would they make that part of the story? I really have to see this
They
episode
really wanted to cut or hurt.
for sure.
Posta. I wasn't here at the time, but I've been told that the Valpato case did in fact divide the community. Maybe it is time to mend those fences. Maybe the collective desire to beat up the people who made the City Confidential episode about Johnny Valpato can finally bring us all together.
Yeah, maybe.
Beat up.
And so I got a little bit distracted, reading all of these animal stories. And then I found the City Confidential because I got irritated with the stinky uh, uh, accusation that was made on our town. And that also led me to, after reading about City Confidential, you are familiar, of course, with Uncle Ned, my grandpa's best friend.
The very best of Uncle Ned.
All right, well, let's see what Uncle Ned has to say around the time of the City Confidential hit job.
Hey, we're classy compared to some big cities.
All right, well, let's hear about it, Uncle Ned.
I saw that spit on the TV.
It says, "Dear Mr. Editor." That's how this column of Uncle Ned starts.
Dear Mr. Editor, I saw that spit on the TV the City Confidential people did on Carlsbad. They made us look like a bunch of stupid hicks with no culture, and I just want to set the record straight.
All right. Well, let's hear it. Let's set the record straight. Here I am, this is 20 something years later, and I'm still upset. And I haven't even seen the episode. But if they're saying that we're incestful people who throw radioactive waste into the Carlsbad Caverns, it really does make me want to punch a producer.
So I thought I'd tell you about a trip Mother and me made to San Francisco. We took our young son up there so he could get a taste of big city life. A kid has got to broaden his horizons, as they say.
Absolutely. I am in agreement with this.
We figure, what the hey, let's take the boy to an opera, figuring that would give him all the culture he needed for a year or two at least.
All right, see? We're
One
not
Broadway
hicks.
every 2 years.
We're getting culture.
We knew this would be one of them dress-up deals, but no problem. Lucky for us, we had packed real good. I had my almost new Carlsbad caveman windbreaker, and Mother brought along her Sunday go-to meeting dress. The boy, why, he had on a fresh pair of blue jeans and looked real spiffy.
Absolutely. That sounds like perfect going to the opera attire.
We couldn't get 3 seats together, so I was stuck between a couple of guys who must have just come from a wedding because they were still wearing their tuxedos.
Yeah. Me? I like that. That's so funny. That's funny to me.
After the first act, I am out there in that big old lobby with my windbreaker on, drinking a $9 glass of champagne, and I look around and see the place is full of those folks from the wedding, and none of them seem to
Aw.
want to talk to me.
Poor this man.
This gets me mad, plus the fact I have by then figured out this Don Giovanni fellow was a sex maniac, and I figure the boy don't need to see this stuff. So
You
we
ever been
get
to the
out of
opera?
there.
I've been to one.
No. Wow. Next night, we hit a bit of luck when we stumble across a really good magic show at the Squished Eyeball Theater. There's only about 20 people there, so I figure the folks
Yeah,
from the wedding hadn't heard about
probably
it.
not.
Squished. Only problem was the gal who showed us to our seats had on this dress that gaped open in front from here to there, so maybe the boy got a little more culture than he needed. Mother whisper hissed at me, "Don't you dare look." But I did
Yeah.
sneak a peek. And let me tell you something. If that young lady ever catches a chest cold, she will be off her feet for a week.
I like that one. That's a good line. Uncle Matt.
She was so naked.
Huh?
She was so bare.
Yeah, and big chested.
The show was just great. They had acts like Vomiting Vincent, Eyeball Mural, Electric Chair Execution, and our personal favorite, Elvis Back from the Dead. The master of ceremonies was the amputated head, so you can see this was top-notch stuff.
Doesn't that sound great?
Yeah, pretty
You-
cool.
Would you like to hear a secret?
Sure.
That this account, this tale that Uncle Ned is recounting in his column is about my grandpa, my grandma, and I. We're the ones that went to the Squished Eyeball Theater.
Oh, wow.
There I am, 2000 in the
Oh,
San Francisco at the Squished Eyeball Theater.
you were getting cultured
Absolutely.
with a opera.
Okay. Sorry, I got distracted and I've always wanted to bring up that Uncle Ned column that talks about my trip to San Francisco and the opera and the Squished Eyeball Theater, which was great. I loved it. It was so much fun, Pepito. I wish you could have been there.
I wish too. If only
Okay.
I wasn't as.
All right. Now I think we just have Soy Teresa says miss you, Grandma. And yes. Yeah, and Cinderoni says my khakis were so choice. And look at them. That is how you dress, Pepito.
Yeah, I remember your mom's vanity plate. It was like
Oh.
"Miss you." Um,
MIS in JS, Miss in JS.
yeah.
So that was for her. That was for Grandma Jane, and also for her brother John, also
Oh.
at the initials JS. So
Oh, I always thought it was just for your grandma. I didn't know.
yeah, it is for both. But let's get back to animals. Don't you think?
Animals. Yeah.
To close this episode out, I have one more story here. And
Monkey finds chimney and no safe retreat.
is no
Is no safe retreat.
What year is that?
May 22nd, 1949.
All right.
Carlsbad people were talking this weekend about the escape and recapture of a now famous animal, the little pet rhesus monkey Jocko, that belongs to George Roosh, Senior, 204 North Mesquite. That fucking
Okay,
Roosh.
So this is the Lion Man, and this is, I think, 2 or 3 years before he had his lion.
Wow. Carlsbad people were talking this weekend about the escape.
Here we go.
A crowd of about 50 persons watched the monkey Saturday morning as he clambered about the roof of the J.L. Potts home, 205 North Canal. There is a pecan tree over that roof, so the monkey was feasting as he perched on the brick chimney and stared back at his audience. What a cool monkey.
Wow. Okay.
Finally, Jocko got tired of being looked at and retreated inside the chimney for a little privacy. That was his mistake because the maid at the Potts residence sent a boy up on the roof to place a blanket over the chimney, cutting off Jocko's retreat. Oh.
I I don't know about you, Papito, but I personally wish that was me. Nobody has ever sent me to the roof to capture a monkey in a chimney. That would
Yeah.
have made my life. Were you a monkey fan as a child?
Yeah, of course.
I remember that movie Monkey Trouble.
Yeah. I heard about a movie called The Monkey Man that came out last year, but I
Yeah,
didn't
I
even
heard of
know
that too, but
I didn't even know it existed.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Cinder on the chat says George Roush was probably spat on poodles and hamsters and stuff. You think so, Pepito?
He was what on Poodles and Hamsters? He was
Spat?
spat.
I
What does
don't know.
spat mean?
It means the past tense of spit.
Oh. Sure, he sure was.
Okay. Oh, Cinderoni says because basic animals were not good enough for him. So he like looked down upon the
I see what you're
common
saying.
animals.
Exotics. Roosh is not discouraged. He has the 3 other pet monkeys before, each of which was named Jocko, and he still feels that a monkey makes a good pet. After you get it broken in, of course.
Yeah,
Get it broken
and
in.
the same with lions. I mean, they may beat your ass until you sell them to the zoo, and then attack a child. But that's just something that you deal with, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Those are the animal stories I've got, and the City Confidential and Uncle Ned stories. Pepito, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Do you have any requests for a topic for next week?
No.
All right. Well, I have 2 ideas. Hold on, there's something here in the chat. No mention of El Patron, the bear that escaped the living desert and walked down my street. Well, what the hell? If I had known of that, I would have mentioned that and talked about it. Did you know anything about this, Pepito? Are you hiding this great bear story from me?
No, I don't remember. I'm sorry. I wish I did.
Why are you apologizing? You don't have to be sorry for not hearing about something when
I don't remember.
but I didn't hear about it either.
Yeah,
You've
I
done
don't-
wrong, Pepito. You're too apologetic.
sure.
Here are my ideas for next week. I have 2 topics in mind, and I want your opinion. And also in the chat, we have 2 people here, Soy Teresa and Cinderoni. I would like your input. Next week, should we talk about magic? Inspired by the squished eyeball theater, got me thinking about magic. Magic in Carlsbad or scams in Carlsbad? Which one would you prefer, Pepito?
Magic.
All right, we got 1 vote for magic. Anybody in the chat have a suggestion? Cinderoni says scams, so it's tied up. Soy Teresa could break the tie. And I will let you in on a little secret. Whichever one we pick,
Yes.
we'll probably do the next one after that. You know, it's just which one's first. Should we do
Yeah.
magic or scams? Well, I don't see. All right, then. I'm not seeing a tie-breaking vote, so let's just say, Pepito, you win it. We'll go with magic
Magic.
next week.
The
Are you ready to jam this thing out, Pepito?
Yes, let's do this.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the Boozer, you bozo. start the show. Please start the show.